range day with the Enlightened AR from V7 Weapons. It's an AR, right? So what do we want to find out? Well, with it being this lightweight, how's it going to do accuracy-wise? With this lightweight contour barrel that's also fluted, making it even lighter, how well is it going to handle heat? And also, this being V7's own barrel design, how is it going to do with various loads? So we're going to test it by shooting a group, heating the barrel up, shooting another group to see what kind of group size and point of impact change we have. And then we're also going to do our multi-load accuracy test, running 35 grain through 73 grain to see what kind of accuracy we get out of it, regardless of the twist rate. This thing feels so light. It's funny, we're using a right on 6.5, 6 to 24. Big glass on this to help cut down on accuracy issues that I, as a shooter, might have. But with the glass being on there, that really is the only point of weight on this gun. Maybe the stock. This thing's crazy lightweight. I'll shut up, let's get to shooting and see how it actually performs. So I'm doing this solo today, and what I want to do is, one, take a look at this gun groups, of course. I'm going to do 5-shot groups of 5 different loads. We've got quite a variance in projectile. Starting with the Nosler 35 grain, then we've got some 55 grain match from Norma. Those are both 223. We've got 62 grain 556 Hornady Black, 69 grain 556 from Barnes, and 73 grain in 223 from Hornady. This rifle has a 1-in-7 twist, but as we've seen in the past, twist rate does not necessarily dictate what bullet weight's going to work best. Also going to be keeping an eye on this lightweight contour and fluted barrel, checking for heat and dispersion as rounds go on. We've got a laser temperature gauge there. Started off at 48 degrees. I'm 10 rounds in, and the barrel is now about 58 degrees. Not too big of a deal. Let's see how it shoots. First, I'll show you the cadence of my shots with this next group. So, using a right on 6 to 24 and an arrow mount gives rather cramped eye relief. Need a different mount, most likely. Showing you the shot cadence so you get an idea of if these groups are a rapid group or a slow shot. This is my third group, and running the Hornady Black 62 grain. It is a busy day at the range.
Yeah, what do you have in there? I'll go get it. How's that feel, Noah?
So a decent cadence of shot. Check our temperature.
Did you do those? Yeah?
Measuring at the same spot each time.
How are your groups? So your whole
And it looks like we're about 55 degrees. So it's not heating up too bad at that cadence. I'll continue the groups and then show you results. So for accuracy results, starting off with our 35 grain, right? Should have been way too light for this 1-in-7 twist. Not a bad group at all. 55 grain with the Norma match, not so good. It didn't seem to like this. Interesting though, it's probably just this particular load, since that Federal 55 grain did great. Hornady Black 62 grain and 556, much more commonly available. Opened to about 2.5 by 1.5. Our Barnes Precision Match 69 grain. 3 rounds almost touching, a little bit of vertical stringing. That's probably my error at the gun. And then the 73 grain ELD match from Hornady. Very impressive. I'll zoom in for you there. We've got 2 rounds sharing a hole and 3 clustered together. So it looks like, as we've seen with many other rifles, it's not necessarily the bullet weight, it's just finding the right load for your gun. Since this 73 grain and 35 grain ended up grouping the best. In a test of how temperature sensitive this barrel is going to be, as much as I can do in the public range on a busy day, I'm going to take some of this Federal Z55 NX1. It's a semi-jacketed frangible. It's the only ammo I could get in bulk at the moment. Group 5 of it, since it seems to be grouping, and my 0 was on 55 grain Fiocchi. Then dump 20 rounds of it, barrel up, we'll take a measurement, and back to 5 rounds for another group, and we'll see what our point of impact shift is. Starting with the group, and our barrel at the muzzle, not measuring the flash hider, just the end of the barrel, is 44 degrees. Shoot 5 at a controlled rate. Now we'll heat the barrel up. Bouncing around 240, 260 degrees. You can see a little bit of smoke coming off there. Load this mag real quick, and we'll group again and see what our shift is. Yeah, the barrel's cleaning while, or cooling while I load this, but that smoke is also getting out of the way, so I can hopefully see the target. Definitely getting some mirage. And some interesting results. Interesting results are temp text, if you will. So remember, this is using some 50 grain semi-jacketed frangible ammo, not meant for match shooting at all, but that's my 5-shot group with the barrel at 45 degrees. You saw the pace of that group. Turned out all right. Then we cooked the barrel real quick with a 20-round mag dump, got it up to 270 degrees, loaded 5 more rounds, and the group opened up a little bit, but not terribly so, I'd say. And if we zoom back to show you, point of impact shift was about 2 inches down, about an inch left to the center of the group. Not bad at all. I consider this very acceptable for a fighting rifle carry gun type setup. Really impressed that, well, one, we had a group like that using not match ammo not intended for shoot groups, but to only have this much change, not bad, and very impressive for a lightweight contour barrel. Closing thoughts on the V7 Enlightened AR. This test was a little bit different, of course. That's because, well, an AR is an AR. So what we wanted to find out was, with it being so light, especially with a lightweight contour barrel that's fluted on top of that, were we going to have issues with heat, right? How many rounds was it going to take before we'd lose that accuracy? As you saw, we went from a 45 degree barrel, measured here just in front of the muzzle device, to 270 degrees in smoking, then shot another group and had really a minimal shift. A shift that, sure, if this was a bench gun, you might be upset with, but looking at it as a fighting gun or a carry gun, certainly one that is easy to carry because it's so lightweight, I consider that very acceptable. As far as accuracy with V7 barrels, it looks like, just like with any other rifle, it comes down to finding the load that it likes. It wasn't necessarily bullet weight to twist rate, since 35 and 73 grain were our best groups. Aside from that 55 grain of non-match ammo that shot really great at the beginning of the temperature test. So the accuracy is certainly there. The gun is well built. It's very lightweight. I say this could serve a multitude of purposes beyond just being a 16-inch carry gun. Was the 60-24 right on scope overkill for this build? Yeah, probably, but I wanted to reduce my inaccuracy issues by having the best glass I could get on there. So I don't see a reason to own another AR. If, considering the troubled times we might be heading into, this is being filmed in early November of 2020. The election looks like it's gone anti-gun. If you've got to reduce your supply, if you've got to choose one, you'd want it to be one that could do a lot of things for you. And this is a gun that can serve as a fighting gun, as a standard carbine type rifle. The accuracy is certainly there if you want to enjoy range days. Punch and paper. Just a very versatile overall build, and with a weight that means should you ever decide to carry this, be used for hunting or whatever, it's not going to weigh you down the way a traditional AR would. And once again, going back to, as I said in the tabletop, what V7 Weapons has done is taken that original concept of a lightweight carbine that Stoner started with, using space age materials of aluminum and plastic, and gone a step further with lithium aluminum alloy, magnesium, and titanium to make a very lightweight gun without sacrificing any of the basic function and features that you've come to expect out of an AR-15. So when I titled that tabletop video "The Future of ARs," I certainly think it applies with the V7 still.